Hi there everyone, Peter from ATB, and we've got our edition this week out at Kyneton. Well, I don't know if it's Kyneton, but it's on the outskirts of Kyneton. We've got Christina Jeffries, one of our pre-trainers. Christina, nice to have you on for this week.
It's good to have you here.
Yeah.
I thought you might have got lost getting here, but you found it.
I know, it's a picturesque, beautiful little setting out here, and I wouldn't say I got lost, but I was certainly on the maps on the on the phone, but we got here, and it's a bit of a wild and woolly sort of a day. You've had a bit of rain here.
It is. We've had about 20 mils.
Yeah.
So, racing here at Kyneton today, and it's been downgraded, so it's a bit of rain.
Hence why I'm in this area, because we're going to watch High Largo run later, and we've got a heavy 8, which is, we're looking at good falls yesterday.
First thing this morning too.
Yeah.
So,
And you've got Aerial Ping Pong running around later. Great name.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
By Aussie rules.
Yep, and he's a Queenslander, so it's a good name.
Excellent. Well, hopefully you can have a bit of luck with him later.
I don't know about the wet. That's the only thing. If it was he's probably more a good 3, good 2 type of horse, but he can place on the soft. But I don't know about the heavy.
Well, we'd probably go there with the same sort of queries, because High Largo's only been on a 5, but she's got a bit of quality.
Yeah.
All things equal, she probably should win today.
She should do, and if she gets a clear run, like she's got held up last time.
And Dean Yendall on board, he's riding as well as anyone.
Isn't he?
Yeah, he is. We might just, we'll just sort of break it up. I'll mention a few of the ones you've pre-trained and currently got here, and as we skip through, there's obviously some in the program for this week that you have pre-trained. Well, let's fly back to Equieto last Thursday at Warrnambool, and I did the edition with Roger Gleeson, who was one of the owners of our approach. And we mentioned that he might go well, and he went really well, and he won. Did a lot of work, but toughed it out. And you've had Equieto here?
I had him as an early 2-year-old. He was still a colt. And have I got time to tell you the story about him? Because
you
it was
can
quite
go
funny.
for it. Yeah.
So Darren says I've got a gelding to come into work, and so he turns up, and it was winter. I had him in the box here actually, next to the fillies. Never said a word, nothing. I thought, oh, this is a good, lovely, quiet horse, and all was good. And one particular day, he had this bit of a, and I thought, that's a bit strange. And then a day later, another, and I thought, I'm going to check you out. Well, sure enough, he had nuts. And I sent Darren a text message. I said, I think your gelding's a colt. And is he still a colt? Or has he been gelded? I don't know.
I think he's a gelding.
Is he?
Yeah.
He was getting a bit heavy for himself.
I think he had a little bit of problem with the leg there at one stage, and I think they might have done the whole lot while he was out injured. So,
fair enough.
But he certainly raced well the other day.
Yeah, good.
Galloped during the week, and apparently a few of the clockers are saying that he galloped as good as they've seen at Terang. So we push forward. I'm not too sure of his programming going forward.
Yep.
We're a week away from when he runs, so it'll be sometime probably in the next week to 10 days.
He was very impressive when he won that maiden, wasn't he?
Yes, the maiden, and then that form, I think he showed it again.
Yeah, good.
Last Thursday. And took him a little bit to get his form. There's a little bit of wet track and a little bit in different form. But
funny old winter though too.
Yeah, but he's hit his straps now, so hopefully we can look forward to him. Speaking about nuts, as you put it, Christina, we went to Moonee Valley with one of David Hayes' horses, Streets of Dubai, the Street Cry. Boy, very much a boy. Well, not for much longer.
Okay, let him down?
Yeah, he actually was terrific at Ballarat, but probably beat a really inferior field. Well ridden to win that race. Dean intimated that he was very boyish again, calling out and carrying on. And you can just see he's not trying all the time.
Yep.
So David Hayes' recommendation was to geld, and I think the general consensus through all the owners is that's what's going to happen. He'll have 6 to 8 weeks to have a good think about it.
Well, he's not stallion material, so you might as well have a great race.
And that's what Hayes says, you might as well get a horse that can race well for you for 3 or 4 years as to mucking around with these ones that
good idea.
in between. Staying with the Hayes stable, had Millinery win very well at Geelong, first up. Now she's a mare with enormous potential. She's only 3. She had 2 runs during the winter for a placed effort at Flemington, followed by another placed effort at Pakenham. Now all the form around that, in hindsight, suggested that it was really good form, and she franked that. First up, won by a couple of lengths, and she'll head to town now into a fillies and mares grade, and hopefully just keep raising the bar as we go with it. But
that'll be nice. They scratched her from some runs too, didn't they, leading up to that win? So they must have placed her in the right race.
And I think just getting her right to win first up and get that maiden out of the road. And Hayes is very good at doing that. Or Hayes Dabney.
Hayes Dabney, there's plenty of them now.
And they've always had a good opinion of her, and hopefully now we can just keep going on.
That's good.
The same day we had Captain Harry, who was at Commands. He's a homebred. The Garros, and along with other owners, Garros raced the mare, Queen Era.
Queen Era. You had a youngster at the Christmas party that was related to it then.
That was the helmet Queen Era, I'll get it right now. But,
I don't know either. I remember the Queen Era.
I'll cut this a bit wrong, but the Queen Era was there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, quite a nice type.
Actually, I'm just... Yeah, I've brain dead here for a minute, but definitely had one parading. But this chap's always shown us plenty. Where he's liked him. It was all too much for him on race day. They had a 15-minute delay before it. He didn't really get so much hot, but it was just different to what he had been expecting. He then raced. They jumped well. They slowed up. His head was in the air for about 200 metres, trying to work out what to do. By the time Dean got him back, he actually let down for 100, but he expended that much.
Yeah.
G'day, Pete.
G'day, Neil. We've got to duck in, Neil.
All good.
Duck in.
Why?
We've got
video.
Sorry.
You're right, mate.
Sorry, mate.
You're right. I'm a good editor.
You trained one for him?
Oh, yeah.
He's going to have a break.
Yeah.
And we'll just bring him back through the system probably in sometime early in the new year, but certainly shows plenty.
Yeah.
And like I said, he trialled up. He actually basically did all this in the one prep. So to get to
he's
2-year-old stage, he's done a good job.
And I think the ones that have got that sort of command, Lonro, octagonal sort of influence, they're not the easiest to train. They can gallop. By gosh, even the Denmans, they're all that sort of same family. They can gallop, but they can be you know, a little bit difficult.
In fact, he's shown us so much now.
Yeah.
It's promising going
Yeah,
forward.
definitely.
So
maturity.
Just pop this way. We don't
Sorry.
want to...
Cut me out.
We've moved on to... Yes, sorry, we've got two more to go through. Losing track, we had Bloodlet, and I went to Terang. She's a half to Platelet, but totally different to Platelet. Looks like she's going to need 2,000 metres plus. Very similar in looks and build and all that, but she's obviously thrown to authorised.
Yeah, well, the other filly was a stayer though, wasn't she? Intravenous, and she's
Yes,
too,
yes.
so she was a bit of a distance horse.
Middle distance type thing, and so we're sort of finding each end of the lines with Bloodline, the mum. But look, she ran really well. Well, first up over 1,200, we really didn't expect too much.
Yeah.
Jack held in a nice spot. She let down. She actually really sprinted well for 100, then just maintained her form.
Yeah.
And where
Pretty big run off her feet was she on a shorter trip. Because the margin wasn't very big, was it? Only 5 lengths?
5 lengths, And there was her and another horse that were going head for head. It looked like she was going to probably get this other horse was going to go past her, but in typical Platelet style, the ears went back, and she actually really wanted to beat that horse to the line. So, little things you take out of it, and that was one thing I noticed, that she really tried hard. And Jack said that. He could feel her, even though she was buggered, she still wanted to get the line.
That's the biggest
so we'll get her to 1,400 probably in 10 days' time, and then gradually 16, 18. And where he said she'll be winning when we get out to the trips around the 1,800. So something to look forward to with her. We had Misty C at Sandown yesterday. He's another nice horse going forward. He's had 2 runs. We just haven't been able to get any continuity with him. And we drew the outside yesterday and actually did think about scratching. And then the calendar suggested that 2 weeks from yesterday, it's the same race again at Sandown, same distance. So we rolled the dice, went with it, thinking if it didn't work, we can come back in 2 weeks. Well, plans were to go forward and hopefully slot in. Never happened. Dean
stuck wide, was he?
Dean thought, I'm not going to be stuck wide, so rolled to the front.
Okay.
So of course you expend energy.
Yep,
he actually travelled well.
Yep.
But Dean said very floaty out in front. He let down, fought on, but the winner had the suck run behind him. He's ran 6, but was only half a length off second. So, right in it. But I think just the tenacity he showed to get to the line, I'm glad we ran because we've got the 3rd run into him. Typical Darren Weir template, 4th up.
Yes,
Right trip. He'll go back to Sandown the
what
fortnight.
distance was that at
That was
Sandown?
1,300.
Because I did have him. I had him. Is he still cold?
Yes.
They could probably go to.
Yeah, well, he seems okay at the moment. There's a lot getting nutted here.
Well, he was a big tall horse, and I'm really surprised because I have been following him, although I haven't had him the last prep or before leading into this prep, and I'm surprised he's 1,200 metre horse because he's all legs. He was big, tall, looked like he was probably a mile plus, and yet he's sprinting, and he seems honest too.
He will get out to those trips eventually, but at the moment he's shown enough that he can put himself into races and be competitive.
Gives you a nice competitive staying sort of horse if they've got a bit of sprint.
Exactly.
So I've been following him actually.
So we're hopeful in a fortnight's time that we can, you've got to draw a barrier again, but all going well, he's ready to win.
Yeah, beautiful.
Today I mentioned High Largo, and obviously she's in a race that she can win. 2,000 metres, benchmark 64. She's listed place.
Yep.
Over 2,500.
Drawn a good gate too.
Yeah, and I think there's 4 scratchings. The field are 8 or 9. We just hope there's genuine speed or just a nice rolling tempo, and if there is and she can handle the heavy 8, she should be nearly winning.
Yeah, well, Claims is usually a speed track, so there's usually something speedy going around that will cart her into.
And I think you can get roll at 600 here, and you know, and that would be the plan with her being a horse that's been placed over 2,500. So all going well. We may have a bit of luck today there.
So.
Tomorrow night we've got a couple of promising ones. And we'll just touch on one. We've got Yogi in a 2,040 metre race. Jack Hill stays on. Jack's 2 from 2.
Yep.
And we like to reward our riders. And Jack's probably a jock that doesn't always get the nice rides in town.
Rider.
Yeah, and I think Jack too, what you get with him is an honest assessment, win, lose or draw. And he does ride well. And he's probably riding as good as he has since he had his fall.
Yep.
So hopefully, you know, all goes well with Jack and Yogi tomorrow. Very exciting horse. Now, we'll just bring Silver Stratum into the equation here because you've had a bit to do with both.
Yep.
And it can just show you how you can probably get tricked with knowing or seeing or potentially seeing a good horse compared to what you see on race day.
Well, you can't judge them. I know I've learnt that even before these two, the two that we're speaking of, but you can't judge them because until they're actually racing, you just don't know. But I mean, what you're leading into is that, you know, Silver Stratum obviously felt like a good horse from the get-go, although he was a bit of a smart ass, but ability-wise, he just felt beautiful, you know. But in saying, I think his first prep, he didn't really, he took a bit to learn, but then he sort of picked up the steel and felt like a really good horse. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he felt like a great horse. Whereas Yogi, I mean, I think I said to Darren when he picked up, I don't know what you like about it. I hope he races better than he track works because he just was not really interested. But he was a beautiful horse. Like he was built to ride and he was a lovely horse. But to actually feel with his times and his pace work, I mean, obviously I only do evens, but he was just a little bit whatever, can't be bothered, you know. And
we probably see that race though, don't we?
He's exactly that, and that's, I mean, gosh, you have your money on, which I've only had once, I'm not a punter, but you're thinking, oh my God, this thing's useless. They can scrub him out of the gates and they can do whatever they like, and he's not going one iota faster until he's ready. And then, my gosh,
when he's ready, he can reel off a 200 or 400.
Oh, he's fantastic. He's been thrilling. He's been great to watch.
And I think going forward, Christina, and you know better than me, that for him to get out to 24s and 2500s, it's going to be the ideal. The temperament's going to be brilliant for that.
Well, definitely. Well, that's what I heard the interview after the race, and I don't know whether it was actually with Jack Hill or whether it was Darren Jones that might have said. I'm not sure, but they just sort of said those. I think it was Jack actually that said those horses that don't pick up the bit in the race, which he certainly doesn't because he's got reins like washing lines. They just go out further and further in distance, and he's obviously got that great turn of foot. I mean, he's incredible. So
there wasn't a lot of races around, and you know, probably Moonee Valley's not ideal.
You wouldn't think, would you, leave
but
his track?
Sometimes these horses can just get over the problem when they've got, you know, probably a bit of X factor about them. But I think Darren said to Jack, don't overcomplicate it, just ride him as is, let the race unfold, and you know, hopefully he's going to be in the finish one way or another, whether it's flashing home too late or flashing home to win.
Exactly. Well, that's what Echuca wasn't it? You know, just a little short turn and he just couldn't pick him up. But
very similar dynamics in tracks, aren't they? So anyway, all going well there. We're going to have a big contingency of owners there. And,
he's exciting.
It is.
Yeah, very exciting.
And another one that we've Broadwayed first, who won very well first up at Bendigo with Brad.
To see that,
We've,
he's gelded.
Yes, he is definitely gelded, and he is really starting to show what we've seen probably this time last year.
Yeah, because he showed a lot of ability. He didn't do much for 3 runs in the middle, but it was a bit wet or something.
Yeah, it was a bit of that, bit of wet this prep, and also, just Darren decided just to take him slow. Darren Weir, this is, and. Yeah, we're starting to see the real
He was a really nice horse. I really liked him.
I love the way he let down at Bendigo. He put the race away in 50 metres. And I think the fact that he can race handy at Moonee Valley, big asset. We've had to go with an apprentice, although...
he's pretty uncomplicated though, isn't he?
He is now. He certainly is to ride. Brad obviously has got a good handle on him, ridden most times. And Dean, the 2 senior jockeys. Both have won on him, but we've got Benny Allen, although I know Ben got suspended yesterday, so I think he'll still be able to ride tomorrow night. He is appealing it, but his 2 kilos off 57.5, probably sitting in the first 4 or 5. If he finds that same sprint and lets down at Bendigo, he'll be right in the money.
Yeah, well, he's good enough to get a reward like that, isn't he?
For sure. And, you know, There's another one that Neville races, and
Yeah,
the
yep.
Gray family are fantastic supporters and owners with ATB, so it'd be nice to get a city winner.
Yep, I caught up with him briefly at the Christmas party,
Yes.
so it was good to say hi and
Yep.
see what the girls were doing, because he had, he updated me with Licorice Bullet and
All
Rachel and
those,
those
yeah.
lots, so it was good to see what they were doing.
Fantastic. Saturday we go to Flemington. Now we've been to and fro for 48 hours about whether he runs Stringer Bell, because he drew 16.
Okay.
First go at 1400. The only thing is the calendar suggests there's not much for him. So we're going to run him.
Yeah, you have to though, don't you?
Run him for the future.
Yep.
Also, 1400 first trip. We can ride him quiet from that gate and just let him finish off. Ride him
What's
to run
his
well.
pattern? Actually, as much as I've
He's fairly versatile. We've had him sit outside the leader and win. We've had him in the first 3 or 4. He's probably more a front running type. Well, not front running, but in the
forward going. Yeah.
You might be able to learn something. Who knows?
Yeah.
As the trip extends, sometimes from 12 to 1400 with a different tempo. A horse like him,
definitely.
he may be sort of midfield 3 wide with cover.
Yep.
But anyway, we'll learn something.
And he's been terribly honest for you. I mean, I like the horse on top. I didn't actually like him temperament-wise because he had a little bit of, I was going to say shit, but bit of turd him. He could buck a bit, but type and stuff. I mean, he was a magnificent horse. And I know when Darren dropped him off the first time when I met him, met Stringer Bell, he said, "This is a really nice horse. You'll like him." And on type I did, but temperament-wise I didn't much. So no,
he's won 4 from 10 with a couple of placings. So
very honest.
And I mean, I think with those honest horses, you can place them. You can probably do a little bit more with them.
Yes.
Like I said, we may ride him a bit different on Saturday and just see something, and learn something more. That helps us going forward.
Yeah.
But it's just a bugger. There's not much in that 1400 metre range. He's got to that 72 rating.
I was going to say you have to get the town, which I believe he's a city class horse, but
he's
in the right race, like you said. So.
A Saturday winner, Darren Weir's words were, look, from 16, I don't care who you are, it's hard to win, which is right. So, and for a horse going there for his first time, it's sort of doubly hard, but,
But if he comes home and licks the bowl clean, you don't want him getting fat and missing out, because,
Well, it'll be a month or 5 weeks between runs.
Which is just silly, because, and I imagine he probably loves his food, so.
Like me.
Christmas is coming.
It is. Sunday, we go to Werribee Cup Day, and I wouldn't be short in saying or wrong in saying one of your favourites, old Ty-O.
Very much so. I love him.
14 times he's won. He's stuck his head out, so it's a magnificent record.
Yeah.
And I just think back to his early days where we didn't know whether we'd have him after, I think it was his 2nd or 3rd win when he drove something through the front of him.
He was a bit of a twitch, wasn't he?
And then he won 8 out of 10, and then we thought we lost him ability-wise there for a while, and then Kyneton Cup Day, we've seen that he's still got a little bit left in him, and I think the Ballarat Cup Day, we just forget.
Tough field.
Absolutely. It was upper
Too
class.
far back, no ground made.
And just lead a bias. And Darren, we were thinking of packing him last week, but Weary said we'll give him a little bit more time to make sure he's just absolutely right to go to Werribee.
He's a bit older, a few more aches and pains and stuff like that too, so the days don't do him any harm.
No,
There's a bit of recovery.
And I think, without having a good look at the field, we can race him probably in the first 4 or 5 there, which you probably need to at Werribee.
Yeah, I think so.
Be comfortable and just get him rolling at the 600 or 700 and excuse me, just hope he's in the finish. Brad's on him. Brad's, I think, won probably 10 of the 14 on him.
Yeah, they're good mates.
So they are real good mates. And I know when he won at Kyneton, I don't think I've seen Brad so excited in a win on one of our horses for a long time.
He was very happy, wasn't I? I saw him afterwards too, and I mean, I was very happy too.
Yeah.
But just to see him back in form, because he's just, I mean, such nice horses, such a good horse too. When they go amiss, you sort of, you just got that big question mark. So to see that happening was really,
And he, we statistically looked through, he's actually won the most flat races for any single horse that Darren Weir's ever trained.
Oh, serious?
Yeah, he's had got to take care 120, of which 11 were flat 9 jumps, but Tai-U with 14 is the most flat wins. So it shows you he's been a good horse, not just to the owners, but jockeys, trainers alike.
Yeah, definitely. And it's hard, like those staying horses, I mean, the miles that are put into their legs to still be doing it. I mean, it's different if you can have a 56-start sprinter and it really hasn't done much compared to these.
You probably average trips 2,000, 1,800, 2,000 times that by 30 or 40 times.
It wasn't a big purchase, an expensive purchase
either,
was he?
But a great horse.
No, he was exciting. I hope he does more.
Royal Fantasy, we've got her in the last race, 1,000 metre benchmark 70. She was scratched at the Valley, as all you owners would know, frustratingly. We go there and we get pinged out at the start. She had to go through and get her barrier certificate again, and she did. And I'm pretty sure Matthew Williams will be making sure he words up the barrier attendants to make sure he get hold of an ear next time so she can't play up. But look, she's a very hard horse to place and a very hard horse to ride in terms of, not so much to ride, but you just need genuine speed. She needs to get into the race and then finish off. She's got a fantastic finish. You know, the last 400 can be dynamite.
Yeah.
When the race was run to suit, but unfortunately with those back markers, it doesn't always happen.
No, they make it a bit tough for themselves, don't they?
And of course, we're thinking there'll be genuine speed because it's a tight little track, as you know.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
So hopefully she can just flop out the back. She's drawn 11, so she just goes out the back anyway, and she can just track into the race when we have to and finish off.
Beautiful. Good luck.
If she can't, well, she's probably, we just try and find those races.
Well, you just have to keep racing them and hope it goes your way, don't
that's
you?
Right.
You know, they're just a little bit harder to win with those horses.
She's been up for a long time, so, you know, we're getting to the stage now, you know, how long can you keep them up? But anyway, let's hope we get a result on Sunday, and that'll ease everyone's thoughts about going forward.
But they're all going really well. We've had heaps of winners, you know, so it's great.
I think we've had first 2 months of the season 5 winners, and then we've had 11 in the last 2. We've had 3 already in December.
Yep.
So that keeps the boss happy.
Yep. Owners happy.
Owners happy and keeps things flowing nicely.
Keeps
just to finish it off,
Yep.
you've obviously got 4 pre-trainers here now.
I have.
And off air, we've suggested they're all going good. We've got embroidery for the owners out there. Embroidery, Falago, Serious Witness, who's obviously on a rehab program, and Ready Cash.
Yeah, well, Serious Witness actually finished her 3-month rehab. So she's actually now going to the track doing a little bit of fast work. We're doing things a little bit differently. Normally I don't do the fast work with them, but we're communicating with Darren. I was just a bit worried about it being too fresh going to a trainer and being, you know, ridden by somebody that doesn't know it. She is like, she's a seriously nice horse, and she can get hold of the steel. And so I'm just making sure that she does the exact timing and stuff like that. So she's only doing half pace, and then I'll creep into a bit of 3/4 next
all
week.
Good with that?
Great! I'm very, very happy with her. She looks $1 million.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Fatty Falago, as you call him.
Fat Largo.
Fat Largo.
He's just my fat man. I love him. He's actually not that fat now. He's changed shape. He's still heavy. I weighed him the other day and he was still 556 kilos. But he looks like a horse now too. And I love him. He's a good old grumpy bum, but I love him.
Well, he's another one. He's a bit in the Taiyu line. Honest, consistent.
And he's been a bit luckless though too. I mean, he might have 9 or 10 seconds, doesn't he? But he's not a bridesmaid.
No.
But he's good. He's nearly ready to go. So I'm happy with him. He's just an older horse, bit of wear and tear, but he's I love him. So.
You're taking along at their pace?
Well, you have to, because I mean he was actually a week behind because he came with Ready Cash and embroidery, but because he actually spelled a little bit too fat, I couldn't just get into the fast work, so I actually had to put him on a little bit of a diet and do 3 laps of the racecourse track.
Sounds like I should be out here at the fat farm.
I give him oil though. I don't feed him as much, but he gets a bit of oil.
And then the other 2 was obviously embroidery and Ready Cash.
I mean Ready Cash has been, she's up doing 800 evens as well, and it's good because she's had a wind up, and this is actually her first prep after a wind up, and the wind's brilliant.
It's all good.
Fantastic.
That's the main thing.
Absolutely fantastic, and that's with no gear, no crossovers or tongue ties. So she's good, and she does actually feel really nice. Like she's a lovely type of horse, and so she feels quite nice across the ground, and she does her times nice. So I would say she could be a little bit of fun. Embroidery's a handful, but she looks $1 million. But that's her temperament. You know, she's by Denman. I mean, I think White House Affair was by Denman too.
Exactly.
So say no more. They're just hard work, but probably a really nice horse, I'd say. And she too is up doing. She's actually 800, 3/4, 600 even, so she's 1 day behind.
Excellent.
So, but no, they're good.
That gives a little bit of rap. Just to finish off, Christina, there's been a couple of lucky owners out there. We've had David Baker, who had 3 winners for the week last week.
Great.
That's exceptional. Some people don't get 3 winners in their lifetime.
He's generous at Christmas time to his family.
Dave's been one of our good owners with his mum and dad. So well done, David. And also, I had Roger Gleeson on last week, and Roger rang me up. He said, "Have you done ATB-TV this week?" I forgot to say well done to my daughter, who was in our approach, and that was her first horse ever, first winner.
Oh, she'll be sucked into racing
So
now, that's good.
to Rebecca, Roger's daughter, Rebecca Hughes out there, well done, and hopefully, well, there's more winners down the track for you as an owner with ATB.
I hope you backed her at big odds too.
Yeah, well, they're very excited owners out there, and I think, I don't know what they expected, but they went home with smiles, and I'm sure a little bit in their pockets.
I think they got more than they probably expected as she went super, didn't she? So
Exactly.
Good on you, Dean Yendall.
Yeah, that was a brilliant ride, which we've touched on. Tom, thank you again.
My pleasure, thank you for coming.
Good luck with aerial ping pong.
It's probably a bit wet, and good luck to Hylargo. I'll go and have a look at her.
They're in races 7 and 8, worth a couple of dollars for the run and double.
Well, you think so, wouldn't you?
Or maybe place into win or win
Well,
into
I
place.
sort of thought if it was dry, ping pong would definitely be a place chance. Although I'm taking it, he's on an 8-day backup for Bendigo too. So there's a few unknowns, but anyway.
Let's hope for a couple of good runs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good run.
Excellent.
Good.
Right,
Okay.
thank you again.